This is the Starters 72 burning questions about the upcoming NBA season. Part 8 of 9 starts now!
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to Part 8 of the Starters NBA season preview. Whether you're listening to the podcast or catching us on NBA TV, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, it's Tass Mellis.
We're getting so close, so close.
To Tass's left, you're right at home, the Aussie, Lee Ellis.
Girls.
Lele. And Trey Kirby, not with us because he's, once again, still busy being a dad.
Oh.
There he is, TK with the beautiful baby girl named Isla Joe.
What a dad, what a dad, what a dad, what a mighty good dad.
I didn't know we made Starters t-shirts in that size, and cool, creepy dad look there from TK over the shoulder photo. Everyone happy and healthy. It's great to hear. So it's up to us three to continue tackling the 72 burning questions about the upcoming NBA season. We'll get to Coach of the Year predictions, some New York Post headlines tonight, and for the third time in less than a week, I'm back on the hot seat for 5 questions of my own.
Blame it on the dad.
Yeah, blame it on the dad is right. But let's get into the questions. And as is the case with all of these, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your answers. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the Starters. Let us know what you think. Love the first one. It's simple. Who will win MVP? And I wish this was a little juicier in terms of us picking different guys, but the truth is all of us are going with the, let's call it, the easy pick. LeBron James, who is now back in Cleveland. It's tough not to pick him.
Yeah, it sure feels like it's LeBron's to lose, especially with the second best player out now in Kevin Durant for probably a quarter of the season.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to do something spectacular. And then you combine it with the fact that LeBron is just toying around in preseason, doing whatever he wants in the post area, doing whatever he wants on the defensive end, getting to wherever he wants on the floor, and possibly expanding his repertoire a little bit. Going to the hook.
Nice.
I mean, this guy is going to bring this team up to 55 games, 55 wins. We know that. That's 100% certain.
You would think so.
They're going to win that many games, plus the narrative of going back to Cleveland, plus the fact I think he's going to help on the defensive end and bring this team's defensive ranking way up. How can he?
How do you not pick? You're right. The 3 things are the stats, and we all know LeBron is going to probably put up your 25, 8 and 7 type numbers as he has in every one of his MVP seasons. The other thing is the wins. It's going to be a 50 or 60 win Cavs team. And then it's the narrative, and what narrative is sort of better than a guy returning to a team that he at least got to the finals, but going back to sort of save this team and get them to that level. I mean, how don't you pick this guy to win?
Nobody in the league holds the balance of power like he does. Even if Kevin Love didn't join this team, they'd still be favourites to win the Eastern Conference. Now they've got Kevin Love, they're only going to be better. The only, I guess, knock you could say is that maybe Coach David Blatt is going to monitor his minutes somewhat, and he might rest some games throughout the season. So he might only play perhaps 70 games. Perhaps, and some of those games are going to blow out, so he's going to sit in the pine in the fourth quarter. So I guess you could look at it from that point of view, but when he's on the floor, no one in the league impacts the game as he does.
But I'll say to that Kyrie Irving is going to play more games than Dwayne Wade did. And he's going to handle the ball a lot more than Dwayne Wade had to. I mean, LeBron was running the offense.
Right.
Obviously, Dwayne Wade missed 28 games, a third of the season.
Right. Yeah.
Kyrie Irving's likely, unless he gets injured, he's going to play the entire season.
Yeah.
He's going to handle the ball, and LeBron can do so much more on the defensive end, which I think hurt him last year because he had to carry the load offensively.
Yeah.
And obviously, he's playing with Wade and Bosh, not to take away from those guys, but he had to be the ball handler. You already see in the preseason, LeBron can just hang out while Kyrie runs the offense, runs the pick and roll. I think that's going to benefit him energy-wise throughout the year.
What is interesting, though, is when LeBron went south and he joined up with Bosh and Wade, and it was the big 3, he didn't win MVP that season. You know, expectations were through the roof. A lot of people, of course, were sort of upset, I think, with LeBron and how it all unfolded. It doesn't feel that way, of course, now going home, back to Cleveland, so I don't think that'll be an issue. But if he does pick up his 5th MVP,
he'll be joining.
He would be joining Michael Jordan and Bill Russell as 5-time MVP award winners. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 6, and
he could easily overtake Kareem before he's.
There's a lot of basketball, of course, still be played.
But
so you guys, even you say Kevin Durant is going to be out for a little while. Is that, let's say it's 15, 20 games, 25 games. Once you get to that level, you're saying, despite no matter what type of numbers he puts up when he comes back, if he does, he just doesn't have enough games to win an MVP?
I think that's exactly what it is.
Is it that simple?
Yeah, if you look at the numbers throughout the years, guys have to play in the 70-game mark, at least in that range. or else you're not going to win it.
Well, what about Bill Walton back in 77, 78? Big Billy the boy there, only
incredible.
58 games played.
That's a way back playback.
Yeah.
But, recently it took Iverson 71 games, Nash played 75. But Kevin Durant, he said he's taking it slow, and that's the smart maneuver.
Yeah.
He's going to come back when he's healthy, and we're talking 20, 25 games, a quarter of the season. That's not going to cut it. You can win the scoring title, sure, but you can't win MVP.
I think the thing is with the Oklahoma City Thunder this year, they know that they don't really care about these awards. They've got to get back to the finals,
Right.
because it was a couple of years now since they were there and they actually led the Miami Heat 1-0 in that series, and then things have happened. There's been the injury to Russell Westbrook, the injury to Serge Ibaka, and
Right.
now an injury to Kevin Durant. So again, I think their focus is just get Kevin Durant healthy so that if we get into the Western Conference Finals again, everyone's fresh and ready to go.
What about Russell Westbrook's chances as maybe a dark horse candidate for MVP? Because it sort of worked for Kevin Durant last year.
Yeah.
Westbrook misses a ton of games, 36 games last year because of the knee issue following the surgery. And during that absence is when Durant really elevated his game, put the Thunder on his back, put up crazy numbers, and sort of definitely snatched the MVP from LeBron, right?
But if you're
Could it happen with Westbrook?
No, I don't think so. Because if you're a voter and you voted last year, whether you voted for KD or Bron, you have to think of it as, well, I voted for Durant last year. Now I'm just going to flip the script and say, this guy on the same team is the most important player in the game. I think that's what hurts Russell Westbrook, is that votes will go to his teammate. And guys who voted last year, necessarily, I don't care if they voted for KD or they voted
Right.
for Bron. You just can't vote another guy on the same team as MVP.
I don't know. I disagree with you. I think
Because he would have the things, right? He'd have the crazy stats in
Yeah.
theory. If the Thunder suddenly still go 60 plus wins,
Yeah.
and he's a huge reason why. And then you'd have the narrative of, hey, KD was out for a quarter of a season. I carried this team, whatever, maybe to an unbelievable start. I don't think it's that crazy.
I mean, that's the thing. If he carries his team early on and he's putting up perhaps 28 points, maybe even 28 and 10 assists or something like that, he's definitely going to put himself in that conversation. And when KD comes back, there won't be the same emphasis on KD
Right.
to put up those huge numbers. So, I mean, there is a chance. We've got to look for things anyway this year because it's so unlikely.
Yeah,
someone's
we're
gonna
reaching
overtake
here.
LeBron. But he is the type of player. He's explosive. He's dynamic. He never stops. He's very active. You notice him out on the floor. He doesn't put up a quiet.
Fills all the categories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He always does that. He shoots three-pointers. He defends. He's fast. He catches your attention.
We know. We talk about him and we appreciate him here, but it's a little bit of the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin effect. They're going to take votes away from each other. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And the storyline with Bron too, that he's already in the locker room, the first meeting, players only meeting before training camp start. Going to Dion Waiters, going to everybody on their roster and saying, this is what I need from you. The narrative is just so beautiful. I mean, how can you take it away from this guy? Early lead, LeBron is leading. I know it's fairly early.
It's a little early. The season hasn't started.
Hey, we
yet.
showed you the hook shot in the post. I mean, the guy's expanding his game. It's beautiful.
LeBron in the preseason looks amazing.
He does.
Okay, so if KD doesn't really have a chance because of the missed games, Westbrook's sort of unlikely, you guys think. Yeah, who else besides LeBron has some chance at this? Blake Griffin, you threw him out there, Tass. Finished third last year behind KD and LeBron in the MVP voting. Noah was fourth, Harden, a very distant fifth. Griffin is intriguing because, again, I think it first off helps that you're in the West. If your team puts up some crazy win totals, like 60 plus wins,
Sure.
the Clippers definitely could do that.
They can climb to that.
That's right.
They're very close.
Blake Griffin, you see the numbers last year, the 24 and close to 10 rebounds a game. If that goes up,
Yeah.
even a little bit more, there's no reason why he won't be again in the conversation and possibly get some votes. But I'm with you on the Chris Paul sort of splitting the vote. I mean,
He got some votes last
Blake-
year because Chris Paul was out.
Yeah,
That's exactly
That
right.
was a part of it.
Blake expanded his game offensively last year.
Oh,
He's
we
got
know
that
it.
mid-range jump shot. What can he add this year that stands out the same amount? I'm not sure if he's got another weapon in his game that can really elevate him to that other level. He'll be in the top five. I'm no doubt about that. He'll finish top five in the MVP voting. I'm not sure if he can quite get up to the top, though.
I think that jump shot will take an even bigger step, or another step where he is just money, Karl Malone-like, where he is just cash, and then he's got the space to work a little bit more. So we're going to see another level of his game, but working with Chris Paul's a problem.
Another sexy dark horse pick, if you want to call it that, Anthony Davis
Yeah.
with the Pelicans. This guy, I mean, just getting better and better and better. You saw it there, of course, with Team USA as well. The problem for me with Anthony, like the stats are going to be there. He's going to put up gaudy numbers. but will the Pelicans just win enough games? Because not only do you have to play a bunch of minutes and games, of course, to try and have a chance at the MVP, your team has to be good.
Yeah.
Because a quick look over the last 10 years of the lowest win totals in a full MVP season, we have LeBron up there in the shortened season, but Durant, he won it with the 59 wins. Kobe back in 07-08 with the 57, and Nash won it with the Suns back in 05-06 with only 54 wins. You got to win a bunch of games, so the Pelicans would have to be over the 50-win mark without a doubt.
They won 34 last year, so if they win 20 more, they're only at 54 games in. Maybe still not quite enough.
Let's hear what people think. MVP, let us know. Hashtag the starters on Twitter. Got to take a break. Coming up next, though, we'll debate the candidates for this season's Coach of the Year honors. Doc, Pop, David Blatt, and a whole bunch of other guys. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the starters. Welcome back to the starters. We are at question 58 of our 72 burning questions about the upcoming NBA season, and it reads as so. Guys, who will win Coach of the Year? Now this one, unlike the MVP talk where we all took LeBron, we disagree on.
And no Popovich. What?
Taz has Stan Van Gundy with the Pistons, Lee going with Steve Clifford of the Hornets, Trey, despite not being here, sending in his picks, goes Doc Rivers with the Clips, and I'm going Eric Spoelstra with the Heat. Yeah, some mystery to that one. I'll explain in a sec, but Taz, why don't you start with why you're going SVG?
Well, to win Coach of the Year, you gotta surpass those expectations. Expectations are extremely low with this team, and this is the exact same team as last year that won 29 games. SVG can surpass those, and he's gonna turn his best player into his best player, and that is Josh Smith. This guy's a borderline all-star. Is he a bad basketball player? No. He's a good basketball player with bad habits. And I think Stan Van Gundy has shown he can break bad habits. Same thing goes with Brandon Jennings. And Brandon Jennings, listen, if you're not playing the way Stan Van wants you to play, sit down. DJ Augustine's playing. Stan Van is going to coach this team, is what I'm saying. Andre Drummond is going to be a beast in the middle. I just think that Stan Van is going to put his fingerprints on this team. Again, expectations are low after 29 wins.
They'd have to be a playoff.
They'd have to be a playoff team, yeah. But I think, if they get into the, the 500 range and they make the playoffs, we're talking about such a strong squad. If you've got Greg Monroe coming off the bench, now we think of it sort of as turmoil. Where's Greg Monroe going to play? But if this team is playing on all cylinders, you got Greg Monroe eating people on the second unit. I think Stan Van is going to do a good job of coaching this team, putting a system into place where these guys can succeed.
Lee, you're going with Steve Clifford with the Hornets. I'm a little surprised by this one because he had such a great year last year. What's the reasoning on why you think he'd win Coach of the Year?
Well, I think he can back it up for one. I think it's going to be a big year for the Charlotte Hornets.
And you think just backing it up would be enough?
Well, when I say back it up, they won 43 games. I think they can win 45, maybe even 50, close to 50 anyway this year in the Eastern Conference. Wow. I really like the way that he got this team to play defense last year and buy into his plan. They were last in defense the year before. They finished 6th last season. He's got Lance Stevenson now as well, so their offense is even going to be better. And, I mean, look, the Charlotte Bobcats were a joke for so long. And now that we're talking about the Charlotte Hornets as a legitimate playoff team, I think he is just the right coach at the right time for that team because there's no real standout superstar. Al Jefferson's probably their best player, noticeable player. He's going to be a 20-10 guy, but there's no clashing of egos on that team. And I think that that's what's going to happen this year. We're going to see the Hornets really move up and be a good, consistent team.
But you're saying it's a bit of a carryover from last season.
Yeah, well, he finished fourth.
I was going to say he was in the running
there.
He
Finished 4th last season. And again, I think if they put up a very similar type of season and again, a few more wins, I think other coaches and the voters will recognise that.
Are you just saying that you like the new name?
I do love the new name and the new uniforms. They're beautiful as well. But honestly, I mean, look what he did in that first season. He was fantastic. And again,
it's about now, Lee.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
I don't see why they would drop off from last season. I think they've gotten better. And I think, again,
they will get better.
They're a disciplined defensive unit, and that's really what is important.
I'm going with Spoelstra with the Miami Heat, and this is interesting.
Yeah, this is strange.
They're not going to win. They're not going to win more games with LeBron gone. But I think this is similar to sort of what happened back in the mid-'90s there, 93, 94, when Michael Jordan retired and left the Bulls, and everyone said, well, how is this team going to survive without Michael Jordan? And they followed it up with, B.J. Armstrong and Pete Myers in your starting lineup and Bill Cartwright. Phil Jackson coached that team still to 55 wins. Now, he didn't win Coach of the Year, so that sort of makes no sense here from my pick. But 55 wins. Lenny Wilkins won it with 57 that year. But I think if Spoelstra can keep the Heat very relevant in the East, and let's say they challenge for home seed, a number 4, it's a home court, and a number 4 seed, let's say, in the East, then I think he would have a legit chance because he's never won one.
No.
Because everyone says, oh, you got LeBron James.
Yeah.
He was close.
He should have won it 2 years ago.
2013, he
Yeah.
was close.
That was
Right.
when he was his best year. Yeah.
But again, maybe they'll be sort of like, wow, this guy is a top 5 coach in the league
Yeah.
and he deserves this because they're still relevant. That's the
Well,
angle I'm taking.
we'll find out what type of
Yeah.
coach he is this year.
I'll
Because he
say-
doesn't have LeBron James on his team anymore. He's still got good players.
Yeah.
And what he can mould with them and what he can get them, how he can get them to perform will indicate what sort of a coach he is.
For that same reason, David Blatt of the Cavs is not going to win Coach of the
You don't
Year
think so?
because Eric Spoelstra didn't get the credit the first couple of years. He got 2 combined Coach of the Year votes over his first 2 years with LeBron James. 2 combined votes. And I think that's why David Blatt can't win, because we look at LeBron James and it sure feels that way, that he is a huge leader on that team, that he is doing a lot of the coaching. So it's difficult in the first year to give David Blatt that honor. So as great a coach as he is, he's not going to win it.
Doc Rivers' name will come up. Trey picked him, of course. Popovich is always in the
Yep.
running. And it tends to help if you have sort of a balanced offensive team and a great defensive team just as well. I mean, you look over the last 5 years, the guys who have won this, yeah, you got to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. But it does help if you're balanced. If you're good on both ends of the floor. Pop there with the Spurs, that's a top 6 team, offensive rating and defensive rating. And then you see George Karl, Pop again, Thibodeau, and Scott Brooks. All of those teams, again, pretty good. Next question. What puntastic New York Post headline are we most likely to see?
You know they're coming.
Little confused by this one? Let us explain. Yeah, the New York Post, they love their puns. We love our puns here on the starters. Couple examples. When Jeremy Lin was with the Knicks, Jeremy wins it last second. They go with the straight up thrillin'. Pretty simple. When Steve Kerr decided to take the Warriors job and he stunned the Knicks there, it was a shock Kerr. You see where we're getting at?
Yes, yes,
So
This should be just for Tassie.
this really should be
I do
just for
love
tasks.
my puns.
This will be a great one for all of you on Twitter, though. Let us know, hashtag starters. But what do you got? What puntastic headline are we going to see from the Post?
Going with a classic at the Turner family, the gone fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Derek Fisher, the head coach, when they missed the playoffs, time to get out the rods and the Dennis Rodmans. Worms.
Lee?
The relationship between Phil, Derek, and Mello's been so lovey-dovey so far. I think what's going to happen, they're going to go on a bit of a losing streak, and Mello's going to get benched. It's going to be Malone.
Okay. Now, I think the Knicks are going to make the playoffs, unlike you guys. But if things go bad, we're going to get a lot of triangle puns because of the triangle offense.
Easy one.
Equilateral damage. Isosceles please. And epic failing. You know the 3 triangles,
Yeah,
Lee? Does
yeah.
that all make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Trey
Lee's a
sending
little obtuse.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And Trey sending in his pick. He's actually going with
Hold
the
on.
Nets.
The Lionel Richie route.
Yes. Hello. Is it KG you're
looking for?
That is a creepy Photoshop there. So let's hear your New York Post puntastic headlines that we might see this upcoming season. Got to take a break. When we return, bromances, Klay Thompson, and double-double Barney Rubble, hot seat fun when we come back.
Welcome back to the starters. Let's get to Skeets on the hot seat. Skeets, 5 questions for you.
Yeah.
First one. Who is going to lead the league in double-doubles this NBA season?
Oh, that's a good question. It's really between 4 guys, probably. Really, maybe even just 3. Kevin Love, Andre Drummond, DeMarcus Cousins, and then you could possibly throw in Dwight Howard. But I think it's gonna be DeMarcus. It's time. We all love DeMarcus. Tass Mellis once told me on the starters. And if he can play, you saw there on the graph, he only played 71 games. If he can get that up into the 80-game mark and he plays more minutes, he really is a double-double machine. So I just think in terms of just playing more, but it really can't go wrong with Love, Drummond, or Cousins.
Yeah, he only played 32 minutes a game last year. Let's go, Mr. Malone. Get
Right.
him up to 36 or 37. All right, second question. A juicy one that's happening. Does Klay Thompson deserve a max contract, that one he's seeking?
You know how I feel about this. Yes, he does. Now, here's the thing. Is he maybe a maxed contract guy right this second? Okay, maybe not, but he is going to, and I think the Warriors think this, especially not wanting to trade him for Kevin Love,
Right.
that he's gonna be one. And it's in the Warriors' best interest to actually sign him to a max contract now. Projected salary of the 2015-16, you'd be looking at like $89 million over 5 years. If you waited and we let that go, the salary cap is going to increase, of course, because of the new TV deal. It's just going to end up costing you more. So, absolutely. I know it sounds insane that this guy might be making $17 million very, very soon, but he eventually is going to be worth that. He's a great two-way player.
Young guy, a shooter. You can
Yeah.
almost trade that contract.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to him and Kerr working together in that offense this year. Third question. What NBA bromance will blossom this season?
Oh, okay. I like this. I'm going to go with the Thunder's Reggie Jackson and Steven Adams, mainly because of a video I saw online. These guys have great comedic timing. Here they are talking about sort of facial gestures that they're going to give each other when they're on the court, like, hey, we're doing well, or throw me the oop. I mean, this bromance in that video alone is gold. So that's going to continue to blossom.
That was a good video. All right, talking big-time scores. Which player will score the most points in a single game this season?
Okay, well, let's first look at sort of the scoring records
Take
over the
us
last
through the
couple
history,
years.
all right.
Yeah, LeBron, he scored 61 there last year. We had Melo scoring 62 last year, and Darren Williams 57 back in March 2012. They all scored them versus the Bobcats at the time.
Not going to happen this year.
But I'm not picking any of those guys. I'm going James Harden. I'm going James Harden as the, to score the most points in one game this season. Because you need a guy that's, first off, can hit a lot of threes. We know James can catch on fire, can knock them down. And you need a guy that can get to the line a ton. One of the best in the league, James Harden.
Yep.
So his career high is actually 46. I think we see James going for a 50, 55 this year. Curry could be in the running too, but I'll go James.
Very good answer. All right, last question. Which team will hire a new global ambassador this season, and who will it be?
Oh, the old Drake Raptors card here. Okay, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Uh-huh.
They are going to hire
Prince?
Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin.
Okay.
Timberwolves will become the Dire Wolves. That makes sense. And it works even better than that because basically Bran is Ricky Rubio and Pekovic is Hodor. So
Nice.
done and done, George R.R. Martin. Well, in fact, keep writing the book so we know what ends up happening, but I think he'll be working with the Wolves.
All right, very good stuff. We got to take one more break here on the starters, but after it, we will find out who you picked for MVP this season. Kevin Durant repeat, or are you with us? Is it all Bron? Stay tuned. You're watching the starters.
The Starters Facebook fans agree with us. LeBron James, the odds-on favorite to win MVP. 48% of you backed him. 15% said Anthony Davis, and 7% went with Bulls point guard Derrick Rose. And you see lots of other guys getting votes.
Yeah, Steph Curry at the bottom there as well. I think if the Golden State Warriors can somehow maybe win 60 or more games, you figure Steph Curry's going to be huge in getting them to that mark.
Yeah, you'd have to win a crazy amount of games,
Yeah,
you're right.
but I mean, how Steve Kerr uses him is going to be interesting this season. But I would love to see Steph Curry go for 28, 30 points a game, maybe even up to 10 assists, and then he's in the conversation for sure.
I want to see him a little off the ball. Just
Well,
see
you'll
that
see him off the
magic
ball.
happen.
You'll see him off the ball for
I think
sure.
so, yeah.
Monday, part 9 of the Starters season preview. 6th man of the year, who will win the NBA championship, and a special guest in the hot seat. Again, that's the final part of this series on Monday, but let's talk about Friday. Let's talk about tomorrow. The Fantasy Draft Spectacular will be breaking down our Fantasy League draft, and I hope we make a trade live on the show.
We'll make that happen. Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, if you want to drive fast, toe makes it go, but heel really makes it peel.
Brace the night, people.